Damn it, I wasn't recording yet. Flagger. But I am now. This is BRG Podcast, episode 25 for June 27th, 2016. This is our 100th episode. Yay! This wonderful episode is brought to you by our wonderful patrons over at patreon.com/BottleRocketGaming. As always, guys, head on over there if you can. Spare a little love. We certainly do appreciate it, and we'll jab at you more about that later. Anyways, hi guys, welcome back to another wonderful, rousing, not arousing episode of Lynn's is on tonight, so but still rousing episode of podcast. Oh god, I've already ruined this. I apologize. Anyways, hi Lynn's.
Hi.
Lynn's is a glutton for punishment. She's got real world obligations that are keeping her rather busy, and on top of that, she's also like in double time high gear, all kinds of gaming whatnots and stuffs and things with the podcast, joining all the time, and the website doing and stuff and that. I'm not really sure what's going on with you.
Very, very eloquent. Thank you.
Yeah, you know, this is. Hold on, I can fix this. Wait for this. There we go. This is my last shock top I have of this grapefruit variety. I don't recommend the grapefruit shock top, by the way. It just tastes like a little extra bitter in your beer, and I mean, if you're a hoppy person, it's awesome. If you're not, it's not really all that great. But it's either that or the strawberry, which I tried when it came out for the summer blend, and saw a strawberry face and went, yeah, and took a couple swigs of that, and then realized what the strawberry, the yarrow part of it was. Yeah.
Yummy.
Yeah, that was a surprise. Anyways, kids, don't drink till you're 21. And trust me, it's not even worth it. Anyways, guys, we have got a wonderful thing. This is our now post E3. Usually, I would have expected the gaming news to dry up. It'd be kind of bland and boring since gaming world kind of blew its load at E3. Kids, don't look that up, by the way. But that said, we're gonna have a good old fun time with all kinds of news regarding lawsuits and sales and cheating and gay games. The not happy version. Anyways, we're also going to be talking about some... Oh, Christ. You know, we just need to have a little like downhill slide counter on our podcast. And here we go, sliding from the ground. Anyways, we're also going to be talking about some interesting news on the DMCA front. This is a step away from gaming topics. It kind of sort of connects to us because we are active YouTubers of sorts, so there is some influence that we feel as a result of it. But it's kind of more geared towards just the whole presence in mind behind DMCA, was talked about in depth, so you understand what the DMCA is, at least as well as we can explain it, as well as how it's going to affect YouTube. So there's going to be all that wonderful, luscious goodness going on. So that's going to be our topic for tonight. But first, the news. Okay. So, getting into the headlines tonight, there's actually a really interesting mix of stuff going on, I have to say. We're going to start off with the murky world of PC game key reselling exposed by the indie developer. This was interesting. This is actually linked to us by the Beavers, the Beaver Man and BRG, who exposed this to me. I took a look at it, and I was very interested at first, and I started reading the article, and I got a little less interested. And I mean, I may be on the wrong side of the fence on this one. So just to give you kind of a quick down on this, as I've said many times before. So this centers around a website called G2A.com. And basically what they are is they're a game key reseller. So in this modern, newfangled world of digital downloads, pretty much the currency for games is the game keys that you get. And in a lot of cases, people will get game keys when you purchase a game, or you have a bundle that you buy, or even you purchase a gaming magazine and you get a game key for some random game inside of it. And so these sites excel at allowing people to take those unused game keys, sell them to the site, and then of course they can resale these game keys at a discount. So this way, basically, everybody kind of gets a perk out of it, right? Because you've got the publisher or the studio that I'm assuming has gotten some compensation of some sort for the original game key that came from a bundle or a magazine or whatever. And then the person who got the game key and really didn't want it gets a little scratch for selling it. The site gets its little cut of the pay, and the person buying the key gets a discount for the game. So everybody is a winner, right? Yes? Maybe. So that's kind of the idea behind it. Now, that said, what this article kind of goes into is there was the indie developer in question here is Punch Club Studios, they're called. They're the proprietors, most notably for Speedrunners, along with some other things. And I want to say it's like the founder, boss, leads, I don't know, somebody. His name is
the publishers is Tiny Build.
Thank you, Tiny Build.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find out I can't remember this guy. I think it was like a lead developer or founder, whatever it is. His name is Alex. Hold on, I have this. I actually practiced the thing. Niporchik, maybe.
Nishiporchik.
Nick Porchik. I'm gonna go with what I said. I'm only gonna say it once because I want later. Alex.
Our bro,
anyways,
Alex.
He is the boss of it. Anyways, basically he's going through. He started kind of railing. Generally these sites, but this particular site, on a couple of fronts here. The first, the accusation he puts out there is that G2A has sold basically $45,000 worth of codes for this indie developer's games, and they basically got shafted out of it in the sense. But he also goes on to further this issue by saying that these type of sites are just a festering, thieving hive of villainy and scum. No, basically saying that the way the sites are built, they're fundamentally flawed, that they promote and facilitate black market issues in terms of people buying credit card numbers off the dark web, using them to purchase a bunch of keys, and then, of course, since they're stolen, they end up being charged back, so nobody gets any money out of it. The keys then get used or sold back to these companies here, so people make off with money, and it's just a whole bad situation. And I mean, yeah, oh my God, there's thievery and crime and everything. Shock and amazement. Oh boy.
Yeah. And the question is, whether or not G2A is responsible for confirming the source of where these keys are coming from. Yeah. Especially when they're buying them in bulk from third parties.
Well, and that's a hard thing to do. I mean, let's be realistic here for a minute. We're talking about selling digital keys. I'm sure there's a way to fingerprint these things, make them a little easier to deal with, but people just don't do that. Like, so you're literally getting a string of numbers off a magazine or as part of a bundle. It's not really easy to track these, and in most cases, especially like chargebacks, you would think, oh well, hell, if the thing gets charged back, just cancel the key. Well, the systems aren't really set up to do that, so you can't easily tell which key went to which credit card, and therefore have a hard time doing the blocking, and it's just it becomes a lot more effort than that may be worth. So there's basically a bunch of keys out there that are not legit, and people didn't get compensated. Now, the other side of it, as I said earlier, is there's also the aspect of saying just how much gaming developers are getting out of it. And the stats that got pulled up here that talk about this, again, talking about this indie studio, you'll see here they talk about the G2A pricing. And you'll see that the total revenue they pulled for selling keys for speedrunners, for Party Hard, for Punch Club, total out to just shy of $200,000. But then they're saying, well, if these were all sold at retail, this would have been $450,000 plus. So you're already getting raked over the coals for this. Linz, I'm going to have you jump in here and see if I'm on the same track here. But all I'll say is, I don't think this is a really accurate way to really look at this, because in a lot of cases, when you talk about discounted things, such as, I don't know, used games from GameStop, which I'll talk about in a little bit here, these are oftentimes people that aren't going to pay full price for your game no matter what.
Right. So you take your projected sales at full price and what that total number is, and then if you sell keys in bulk, you take your projected sales from people that are willing to pay the lower price, and you hope that equals more than people who are willing to pay for your keys at full price.
Mm-hmm.
That's why these arrangements exist. I think that there are a couple of different things going on here, though. One is that this guy, our bro Alex, says that these keys were actually purchased off of his personal online shop, or the publisher's online shop, and then it was charged back. Mm-hmm. So there's a question of whether or not his distributors are screwing him over, or whether somebody stole a credit card and purchased a crap ton of keys off of his own personal, site. I don't know. There's just there's a lot going on here. And actually right now, or at the time of this article, Tiny Build's website was under a DDoS attack immediately following when this post went live.
Ooh, ouch. People apparently don't like this whole situation, and I apologize. I did rather gloss over that, and I apologize. And I want to be very fair and clear up front here, guys. I'm not defending either side here. To be honest with you, when it comes to situations like this, I have a hard time choking this down, just because when you look at this specifically, I got kind of hung up on the stats aspect, and it kind of rubs me a little bit raw, because this kind of goes in the same line of, it was a year or three ago, that there was a big dust up about game resellers in the way of the physical game market, like GameStop, where it's like, oh my God, they're killing the game market because they're taking games and reselling them at half the price, which would have been more sales for these game companies had they not done that. And yeah, I'm going to call festering BS on this, because the fact of the matter was, it's not going to be the case. Even in the best situations, these are people that are going to pay a discounted price for a game because they're not going to pay for the full price game. Yes, I'm sure if you take every single situation of it, every instance of a particular game being on a resale, that there may have been some small portion of people there that may have paid full price for your game. But my question is, if you say there's 100 people that would, that bought a used game, what would have happened if they didn't have the used game to buy? You would have had,
they wouldn't. Look, people have budgets, and I think there's some finger pointing going on, because if you think about what's going on right now, the Steam sale, which we're going to talk about later, why are all these publishers hopping on board the chance to participate in something like the Steam sale if they don't know themselves that offering their products at a discounted price is going to result in mass profits for them?
Yeah. But what this boils down to in my mind is, you've got basically three sects of, I can't say this tonight. You have three groups. You have three groups of people here. There's the people who are going to willingly pay full price, and that would also include people who pay more than they should for the special editions and all that. You've got people who pay discounted prices because they can't afford the full price, but they would like to actually play, or they want to play with their friends that are all playing the game. And then you've got people who are going to go out and pirate your crap. Mm-hmm. I would go so far as to say that deep discounts to games may help as much at keeping the piracy aspect down as it does damage the new sales up. I don't think it's going to make a lot of difference, but I mean, there's arguments both ways. So that said, just a little caveat here, so you know, G2A has not exactly made a lot of friends. They've actually been banned from promotion and supporting E-League teams So just they're not exactly favorable. I'll only gonna say this, and we'll move on here. Is if you have the ability to pay full price, pay full price. Help out these people, regardless of their small studio with one person or a big corporation like EA. They have put time and effort into it. Give them what you can, and if they give you the option and the ability to save a few bucks and still support them, that's okay too, in my mind.
Yeah, do the Steam sale.
Do the Steam sale.
I have so many games that I'm probably never gonna play now. During the E3 podcast, we talked about me having 191 games.
Yeah, that went up by a lot.
Yeah, I think I'm at 235.
Jesus Christ.
Just after the Steam sale. So,
I have bought exactly 0. Just for the
well, I admire your restraint.
It's not restraint. I've got 4 kids. They eat everything in the house.
Well, yeah. Well, everybody knows how I'm kind of known for doing this thing where I set a little bit aside, and I have different budgets. I have I'm going to donate this to Twitch streamers budget and my games on Steam budget, and
what?
I can do this because I don't have children.
We can talk about that in a minute here because there's some really good tips and tricks for that. But we have to talk about cheating because, oh my God, the sky is falling.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna completely butcher this name. Gajuri
sounds good.
Gajuri. So she is a 17-year-old young Korean girl, and she happens to
17-year-old young. Yes.
she happens to kick ass loads of ass in the game Overwatch.
A little bit too well.
Yeah, so much so that a team that was opposing her actually accused her of cheating. They contacted Blizzard Korea about it. They were completely up in arms.
This isn't like standing up at the event going, "You're a cheater." No, this is like, "Hello, Blizzard. We want to call hacks on this chick."
They followed through. Which, by the way, if you have not seen on the OMG It's Firefox channel, there is a video of her calling Blizzard to report somebody that she believed had auto aim on. And Blizzard's response, among other things, during this 5-minute conversation was, "We do not condone hacking, therefore hacking is impossible."
All your hacks are belong to us. And this circles around on the whole thing of Blizzard's been very harsh on hackers, and I think that's brilliant and wonderful. I honestly, at this point, my curiosity, I don't play games to cheat because that's no fun. There's no point to them. So I'm honestly wondering, as quick as they've been to just immediately hammer people with perma bans. First of all, you've got to be confident that they are in fact actually cheating. Second of all, that's a harsh penalty. So there really is kind of no going back here. So to that end, I'm wondering, are there really people that need to be reported? I mean, isn't the all-seeing eye of Blizzard kind of already over this action if it's happening?
I don't know how they're monitoring this. And of course, I've never cheated on a game before, so I don't know what it is that you use to create an auto aim bot or something like that.
Now wait a minute. Have you ever actually played a game and won? Have you ever played a game and won?
What do you mean, won against other people?
Yeah.
Yeah, on occasion.
Well, you're a girl, so you're obviously cheating.
Yeah, that was...
Hate mail is going to start flying in now. I'm kidding.
That was part of it. They looked at this 17-year-old kid and said, there's no way that she's this good. She's using an auto-aim bot. She's using aim assist. She's doing something to give her an advantage. And Blizzard looked into it, and they actually determined that she wasn't. And then after that, there is a live stream of her playing the game where they've got the game stream up, but there's in the corner, it's her from behind.
Yep.
So that you can see her playing and, moving the mouse and things like this. This actually it grew to such huge proportions that 2 of the members of the opposing team who accused her of cheating quit the sport.
Oh yeah, no, but whoa. Let's not simplify this. I want to harp on this a little bit. The two people from the opposing team basically staked their careers on the fact that she was a dirty, rotten cheater, and said,
"If she's not cheating, I will quit.
I will flip and quit." One refined gentleman went so far as to say that he will go to her house with a knife. And to end the quote, "I'm not kidding."
Yeah, you idiot! That's your one defense, is it was a joke. You can't say, "I'm not joking."
I mean, seriously, it's like, okay, so these guys stake this claim that they will effing quit if if she contacts. Blizzard looks into it and says, A, she's not cheating, and B, we back her on this. Yeah. And good to their word, as lousy as their words are, they both have resigned. But the damage being done, their team has actually been disbanded, basically in shame.
Yeah. They both did apologize, which, I mean, too little, too late.
You threatened a 17-year-old girl with a knife.
Right. And she's not just some random person playing. She's on a team. She's part of a backed esports team, so.
Dude, she's a kid. She has no life. She can do this all day long. She's got reflexes way better than you and I combined. Of course she's going to be good at this. I think really pissed people off more than anything is she plays this character here. I forget her name, the big
Zarya.
Yeah. I think people more often than not are pissed because everybody has universally said this is like the worst character of all. And she knows how to play this character like nobody's flipping business.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
She's got an 80% win rate.
Oh yeah, the
pretty
stats
high.
84% win rate, and oh god, I thought I had written this down. Where is it? Come on, a 6.31 kill death ratio. Damn. And this is one of those log into game, see her name come up and go, "I quit. I will take the penalty. I'm done." Two things before I move on here. First, on the whole topic of getting all pissy about this and threatening somebody, it is a flippin' game, dude. Get over it. I don't care if you are a career professional gamer. It is a game. It will always be a game. Get over it. There's going to be one person in this entire world that is going to rightfully be able to say, "I am the best at X." So that means that 99.9999% of the time, you're going to have to accept the fact that the person you're facing off against is likely better than you are. It is a game. Second of all, and good old gaming personality, get good. Stop crying. Less QQ, more pew pew. Anyways.
You okay?
I'm good. Moving on. This is an interesting one. This is Clash of Clans is sold to a Chinese web giant. Second biggest gaming deal. I just want to throw this up there because this kind of goes in the whole aspect of, we talked about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, that Ubisoft is kind of getting eyeballed by Vivendi, a French company who has been actually sucking up a lot of gaming IP. Well, now we've got this one here. This is actually Chinese internet giant Tencent is actually just bought. What's the name of the company here that owns them?
Supercell.
Thank you, Supercell. For $8.6 billion. Now, first off and foremost, just to give you guys some perspective here, Supercell is strictly a mobile platform gaming company. They have their big selling points are Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, Boom Beach, and Heyday. And they sold for $8.6 billion. Linz, how much did Minecraft sell for?
It's $2 billion, right?
Yeah, 2.6 billion.
Something billion, yeah.
So that's a sizable, that's actually about a third of Tencent's actual stated value. Uh, but this puts them in controlling stock of the company. They actually bought into the stock, basically. But they have 84% total of the stock. The remainder of it is actually owned by the staff of Supercell. So basically, they own this now, and they've been gobbling up things as well. So it's interesting because we're getting to a point now where we're starting to see that ebb and flow, almost kind of bubble-esque, where there's a lot of independent small companies that have come up in the world, and now they're starting to get gobbled up by the bigger things. This is how business has always been. It's kind of like Agario for the real world. So there you go. If you have stock in Supercell, maybe it's time to sell. Maybe.
Speaking of people being all, pissy and stuff, this is so far outside of my realm of familiarity here, but apparently there is a Connecticut Counter-Strike player, Michael McLeod, who is suing Valve for knowingly allowing illegal weapon skin gambling. He alleges. I don't.
Breathe.
I just got CS:GO in a bundle of other stuff that I actually wanted. So
so now you can sell the key for it. Did you?
Yeah. I'll sell my key to GTA and maybe, but before I do that, I'll get some weapon skins to illegally gamble. What do weapon skins do? Are they just for looks? Do they have special abilities or something?
No, pretty much.
I sound like a doofus.
I mean, I don't play the game personally, but reading up on this, I found this kind of fascinating. This is one of those articles I actually sat down and read through because I got kind of glued to it. So basically, for CSGO, weapons skins are they're cosmetic. They're something to make your weapon look funny or nice or whatever. And people have been using that as currency, as basically poker chips for gambling. So you can gamble on esports teams and
you're gambling with weapon skins, which are worth some money.
They actually worth money. You can
sometimes a lot of money.
You can actually sell them back to get actual real world money of it. So now you got something that has a monetary value, hence a poker chip, that you can gamble on things. And these sites that are doing this gambling have nothing to do with Valve. Nothing to do with the mother company, so to speak, of the game. These are independent. This would be like me and Lynn starting up a website saying, loseyourshirt.com for CSGO and having people come join. Now, the shtick here is this guy is trying to levy a class action lawsuit stating the defendant Valve knowingly allowed, supported, and or sponsored illegal gambling by allowing millions of Americans to link their individual Steam accounts to third-party websites. Now, this is already where things go awry in my mind. Is you're saying the defendant is somehow liable for this whole gambling aspect just because they allow you to link your Steam account to this third-party website.
I'm not sure that's going to hold up in court, and I think that there's actually a disclaimer when you do link your Steam account to anything else. Like, how long to beat and stuff like that. You can link your Steam account to those, and I think there's a disclaimer there.
I would bet you dollars a terms it probably is, but nonetheless,
that nobody reads. We all just hit okay.
So, yeah, well, nobody reads EULAs anyway, so who cares?
Yeah.
But anyways, he goes on to also state that this is a horrible thing because it's unregulated and minors can do this and minors do it and yada yada. If you read through this whole thing, and of course, as always, I certainly do encourage you to read these because they're a good read in this case. Here's the deal. He's trying to say that Valve is somehow liable for this third-party website doing all this unregulated. Probably because it's easier to tag them down, to be honest with you. I think it's going to get more money out of them. And he puts in there the fact that the kids are doing it. Oh, it's for the kids. This is not fair because of the kids. Here's how it reads for me. I was stupid. I got into doing this. I lost my ever-loving shirt doing it. I'm pissed that I was dumb and lost my shirt doing this, and now I'm going to point my finger at somebody else for me being stupid and losing my shirt and gambling.
Yeah.
That's
basically.
That's what I see here.
Yeah.
And again, this is strictly my opinion on it, but like I said, I read the article through, and I would love to have you read this article and give your opinion down in the comments below. But I mean, really, honestly, it just boils down to what it looks like to me is this guy made a poor decision and doesn't want to cop to it.
Yeah, and I mean, I always feel like an argument is really weak when you start to cite unrelated things in your argument, and this guy is already is citing like, well, you know, this is obviously an issue because we've already proven that pro CS:GO teams cheat.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then he refers to a certain incidence of, you know, two teams. One of them was obviously the better team, and the other one was obviously the underdog, and the underdog won.
Match
and
fixing.
It was a fixed match, and you know, blah blah blah. That's it. It's so far from the original argument that at that point, I just think you're
Which again, how are you going to make Valve liable for the fact that you put money, quote unquote, down on a game for a third-party website that was bet against a match that was a game that was fixed by two other groups of something else? Oh, my dear God. Give me a break. So, yeah. Anyways, so that's my take on it. Again, I'd love to get your opinions and shtick on this because I think it's comical at best. All right. What else we got on here? Oh, yes, the Steam Summer Sale. So in case you guys missed it, the Steam Summer Sale is up and running. So you head over to steam.com, check out what they have on sale. They've got a lot of good stuff going on. So if you're looking to save a few bucks or a lot of bucks on games, this is the time to do it. As you can see, some people go hog wild like Lynn's here. So now she's got like, 200 games that she has not played yet. But
I've played some of those.
I said you only had 200 of them you didn't play. Probably like 210, really.
I had 191, and there were 110 that I had not played yet.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have 235, and there are, a few of those that I haven't played.
Anyways, so Kotaku has a great article here on some tips and tricks to help you out with your Steam sales. And I want to kind of point out and highlight these. Again, I definitely encourage you to go to this article, check them out, because we got a lot of links in here, which we'll also include in our show notes. But first things first is know what you're buying. And to that end, all PC games are not created equal. This goes especially for ports of games. So there'll be games that are ports from other platforms, such as consoles and vice versa. They may not go so well. So I highly encourage you to look into those, read the reviews, take the time to actually read reviews and get people's opinions on it. Steam does a really good job. Right at the top to the right, you'll be able to see a little thing that says, what is the overall take on this? How many great reviews does it have? It gives you a pretty fair shot at what there is. Also, resources are your friends. We have a few links in here to some of these resources, including a subreddit for game deals. It gives you a wonderful layout for what's on sale, pricing history, also trading card information. There's also a Steam DB sales page, which is a very simplified and very elegant page to go to. They'll give you some insight into what the sales are going on and so on. So definitely check that stuff out. Also, if you're selling trading cards, download the Steam phone app. Steam has a kind of like a two-factor type authentication aspect. So when you're doing sales, you'll have to authenticate to do that quickly. Otherwise, it takes like 15 days. So like it or lump it, if you want to do quick sales to people, you're going to need to have the app ready and available so that basically it's to save your own butts. People don't hijack your account and bleed you dry. Which right now, people buying a bunch of crap is going to be prime time for people's accounts to get hacked. Mark my words, I would not be surprised if something like that came up in the news. So anyways, also
turning on your two-factor authentication is quite a good idea for Steam.
Honestly, we've talked about accounts getting hacked all the time. If you have the option to two-factor authentication for anything, be it Blizzard, be it Google, whatever, do it. I know it seems like a pain in the butt, but it's really not, and it will save your keister in the long run. Trust me. Anyways, selling trading cards. The general sentiment is if you are going to be looking into trading cards, look at the trends and see how things go. What's been observed for these things is that prices tend to go down over time. So sell off in the beginning, buy in later. So right at the beginning, we're at the start of this right now, start selling off everything while the numbers are good. And then towards the end of it, start looking to buy cards up.
Right. And as a side note to that, I think that what has been said about these summer sale cards this year is that when the sale ends, the cards will disappear from the market. So if you are specifically trying to level up your summer sale badge, then you'll want to buy those before July the 4th.
Yeah, so get in there and get that. Also, speaking of cards, gift cards. Gift cards, oftentimes have great deals with gift cards. Best Buy was doing a buy one, get like 50% off another one or 10% off another one. It saves you a few dollars. It's always a good thing. It basically it's free money. So keep an eye out for gift cards. Suck those up. If you really do plan to drop a lot of cash like Lynn's does on games, look for the gift cards first just to make things that much cheaper. So definitely do that. Yep. Finally, last but not least, and this is kind of my little thing, is share the love. Even outside of the Steam sales, there's oftentimes game packs where you can buy multiple keys, 4 keys, 6 keys of a game, and you get a discount overall. And, you know, if you've got to deal with your friends to have them pay you back, great. If not, it's just a really good excuse to get a good deal on a pack of keys. Give them out to your friends so they can play along with you. A lot of these games are meant to be social games, and if you've got nobody to play with, then it's kind of sad.
This is a great trick if you're trying to guilt people into playing games with you.
Absolutely is. I've got sucked into a lot of games because of it, and I love it. I guarantee you, for however many games I have, which is minuscule compared to Lynn's, half of them are gifts from other people. The other half are pretty much free to play games.
Yeah.
Just saying. Anyways,
you know what I'm gonna gift you?
What? No.
No. There's a game on Steam. It's called Radiator 2.
Oh jeez.
And I think you would enjoy it.
I enjoy games. I don't enjoy games.
So basically, this is one of the very, very few gay sex games on Steam, on the Steam market. We have crap tons of anime boobs and we've got Honey Pop and things like that, but we don't have a lot of gay sex. No. So, there's Robert Yang is trying to change that lack of availability of gay games on the Steam market, and he's doing it with Radiator 2. You're this like,
I have no idea what this guy's talking about. I've seen Play of Happy games on Steam.
So he has some other games.
Yes.
He's got the Dick Pic Sim Cobra Club.
Ah, yes.
Which we took a look at earlier, and I am.
Links are in the show notes. I'll tell you guys right now, I'm not going any lower than right here because
please,
it will take this episode off of YouTube immediately if I did.
if you are under 25 years of age.
Oh God, if you're under 40.
Please don't click on the link in the show notes to the Cobra Club.
Kids, do not look this one up.
It will take you to some things. He's got another game called Rinse and Repeat, which I've actually seen someone play on YouTube, censored. It's like some kind of naked man shower game. A car sex game.
I've seen Generic B play this car sex game.
Okay.
And so Generic B has a it calls Swag, which is some weird ass games. This was one of them. I definitely encourage you to go look it up. I'll try to remember to put that down in the show notes. It's all kinds of just wrong in all kinds of funny ways.
Yeah, he's Yang's video games explore intimacy and sexuality through game mechanics rather than story.
Which is great, and I totally encourage it. Now,
he says, I feel like my games earn their dick.
Like spotted dick pudding kind of? I'm a little confused. Can you explain that in more detail for us, Linz?
I don't know what that phrase means. I feel,
that'd be a giant nope.gif right there.
Nobody's ever told me, hey, Linz, you really earned this dick tonight. I just.
Wow! So not going there.
Oh, anyway, so yeah, this is the first game of his that he's released on Steam, and he says he feels like it needs to, in order to remain relevant, the gay community needs to remain in the public eye. And he's got an interview here from, with he and Kotaku. And I'm not going to go into the interview questions, but you can imagine that, some of the basic concern is, what is the potential for abuse here, putting this out on Steam? In the comments, in the reviews, there's some cheeky, stuff going on.
There's going to be hate everywhere. And I'm just going to go right out front here. I'm going to make fun of this and light this in this podcast here like I have been. The fact of the matter is, I've got no problem with this. I'm not easily offended. I have friends that are every walk of life, including gay.
Right.
It's not a big deal to me. And again, it's just a game.
Right. And I mean, I think that anytime there's a video game that's centered around sex, it doesn't matter if it's gay sex or straight sex or sex with animals. It's going to be funny. Sex is funny. Well, it's just funny.
Just to be clear, when you talk about this being a gay sex game, this is specifically male homoerotic type environment.
Right.
So if you're hoping to see like a little anime boob on boob action kind of thing, it ain't gonna happen. This isn't that kind of game. And that's what's gonna cause ire, because all the fat neck bearded guys are gonna be pissy that this wasn't something better.
Yeah.
I'm calling you people out. All these jerk offs out there that have this big issue with girl gamers and Gamergate and this kind of stuff. Here's a little advice for you. Save yourself a lot of time and a whole bunch of people a lot of ire. Just shut up and deal with it and don't play it, okay? Because nobody really gives a crap what you think.
If you want to see a lot of dicks, then get this game. It's Radiator 2.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. If you're into it, go check it out. If you're not interested and curious, hey, you know what? It's just you. Nobody has to know about it. I mean, other than the fact that you're gonna bring it up on Steam and all your friends on Steam are gonna say, "Now playing."
Or Jester now owns.
It's essentially the pop up every single night. Is playing. Whoopsie. So now I need to actually go buy the game just so I can have that little graphic pop up and have that popping up during the podcast.
Just leave it open all the time.
Anyways, so yeah, there you go, guys. More interesting stuff in this world. And definitely don't check out this other Cobra thing. Just don't.
It was an eye opener.
Anyways, hey, good news. Oculus is going to stop blocking apps that let the Vive owners play on the Rift. Basically, long story short.
Dick got your tongue?
I want to stab you right now, and you're too far away. Anyways, so long story short, I believe we might have covered this quite a few weeks or months back, but Oculus Rift had their kind of Oculus exclusive games, and somebody had written an application that allowed people playing with the HTC Vive to play Oculus only games on the Vive. Now, there was a security update for Oculus, and magically this piece of software stopped working. People can no longer, do this. And so the person creating the software, the only thing he could do was modify the software to sidestep the game check, basically making it easy for people to pirate the game outright, not pay for it. Since then, the people at Oculus have backed off and basically will allow this to work. So people on the Vive can go ahead and get stuff that is an Oculus-specific release. And I want to bring this up for two reasons. One, because it's an opportunity for me to mock Oculus a little bit. And two, because about damn time. This pisses me off primarily because one of the big things that's come out of Oculus over and over and over again is, oh no, we don't care about the platform. We want VR to thrive. We want VR to thrive. And you'll notice that the only people so far that are coming out with specific software is for the Oculus. So much so that I forget what game it was, but this particular game that was supposed to come out on the Vive, that all of a sudden, the last minute, oh, it's going to be Oculus only. I'm sorry, but we'll talk about this a little more in a minute here. But this is kind of a big faux pas in my mind, because the whole VR world is a budding platform, and right now, what different manufacturers of the platform need to do is work together to get this platform to start thriving. Yeah, not bicker and fight.
This is not these things don't have the cost of a console. They're like double the cost of a console in most cases.
Yep.
You don't have a lot of people that are going to be able to buy more than one.
No, you don't. And this is one of those situations where, well, God, the last thing I want to do for anything is have to buy 4 different platforms so I can play all the games I want to play. And this is why you see a lot. There are houses that are going to have both the Xbox and the PlayStation and the Wii U, but many houses don't.
Right.
I mean, hell, House Nexus, which is Seychelles, Argentum, and Viesti, they have the PlayStation. That is it. I think they still have a Wii still kicking around, but partly it's because there's just no interest in the other platforms, but partly it's because we're not going to waste the money on that. And it's not just buying the platforms; it's paying recurring fees afterwards. In this case, it is a price tag just for the hardware, and then you need the PC hardware to make it run. People aren't going to do this, so yeah, you guys need to work together right now. When the cost starts coming down on these, and they're a little more affordable, a little more accessible, a little easier to use, then you can start doing your game exclusives to help promote your platform. That I'll understand at that point. Right now, piss poor time. So good on them for backing off, but I think it was kind of done under the most. It was done very begrudgingly. They're kind of dragged into it.
This is all about ego, and when the robots take over, there's not going to be any more ego.
So preemptively, we want to make the robots happy?
Yes, and that's exactly what the EU is going to do. I mean, later on we'll define what the EU is. But
I feel it's almost we got these things backwards here.
We're a little backwards on the articles here. The EU wants to give rights to robots.
Sounds great.
Yep. They want them to be able to trade money, claim copyrights, force owners to pay into pensions for them. I'm just trying
to imagine disability. This is gonna be interesting. No, I find this comical, and I'll be interested to see where this goes, to be honest with you. But it's just it's kind of funny, because this is the first time I've really seen humanity actually think beyond its own nose.
Yeah.
In some aspects.
We have to protect the electronic persons, as they are being called.
Oh God, now we're gonna have. Oh Jesus!
There's a politically correct term
for the digital social justice warriors.
Yeah, and they're gonna have what they're proposing is to give them basic labor rights.
Yeah, no, effectively, yes. So the fundamentals, there's a lot of details, as all outlines are, but the fundamentals are this: that as a identified entity, that they will have the rights to property, meaning, as Lynn said, to own money, have rights to basically say, this is my creative copy. So if robots create music, they can actually claim it for themselves, which would actually put robots ahead of monkeys. Anyways.
Yeah, so if you're wondering why all of this is taking place, it is because apparently some people believe that we are on the cusp of the artificial intelligence that we've been seeing in sci-fi movies for years and years and years, and that in order to ensure
Skynet is coming.
Yeah, in order to ensure our own survival for when the robots have a choice to go rogue, we need to start giving them rights as well as laws and things like that.
This is going to allow us to say, look, I voted for you guys. Now,
yeah.
the other kind of interesting thing about this, too, is that there's actually stipulations and guidelines in here that specifically part out that this is identified for physical robots.
Mm-hmm.
So this will not apply to AIs on computers.
Right.
So if you're Watson, you're kind of boned on this.
Which is obviously discrimination.
Obviously. That's it. I am founding the E-Warrior Rights Justice League people. No. Oh, we should have jockeyed this around a little bit, because we're going to jump back and forth here. So going back to VR again. Good Lord. If I thought it was 5 minutes, I would have lined this up better. This was a topic that almost became our main topic tonight, and I wanted to touch on this. This is from The Verge. Specifically, I'm gonna call this out. This is actually by Addie Robertson. Boy, I don't even know where to begin with this, because I read this being curious, since I'm very interested in VR, since I had my first VR experience last weekend. Basically, they go down the line here in this article, pointing out the interesting aspects and then the shortcomings of a lot of the basic the three big VR things, being PlayStation's VR, Oculus, and HTC Vive. And they'll point out things like the PlayStation is lower resolution, not as powerful. It's not going to look as good. The Vive is heavy. It's a little bulky. It's, again, resolution isn't the best in the world. It's a bit pricey. And the Oculus is missing the controller aspect of it, which is coming down the road here in a little bit. But they kind of start railing all over how they're missing their opportunity, and oh my God, that they're going to bury themselves. And it takes a rather negative tone, saying that basically they missed a mark at E3. Now, what I'll say to this is this. There was so much stuff at E3 that even after a 2.5-hour podcast, we barely touched on a fraction of what was at E3, including really getting to VR too much. We did jabber about it a little bit. But VR is coming up in the world, and I'm not really sure if this person got knocked in the head too many times by a rock or just has her head under a rock, because what I'm seeing is a major uptick. Mm-hmm. I personally tried the HTC Vive, and was amazed by it. And I'm one of those people that I'm not gonna, oh my gosh, it's technology, it's amazing. I work in the tech industry. I don't get that easily amazed. But this was impressive. And it's the little things. Like, I put the headset on, and Argentum says, okay, do you see the controllers? And I look over in this big, giant open space, and there's two controllers sitting over there. And I say, yes. He says, okay, they are exactly where you think they are. Go pick them up. And sure as shooting, I walked over, could reach down and grab them. And they really were right there. Tracking was accurate. The resolution, you could see the pixels. It was, it's close up to you. They got magnifiers to focus everything. So you do see a little pixelation in the thing. But that said, it's an amazing experience. You really get sucked into this world, and you very, very quickly forget about the weight of the headset, which really wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. People were so over the top about it. And you forget about the pixelation very quickly because it's very, very minor. You get lost in the games very easily. And these are just kind of demo games. Yeah, right. There's not a lot of like real, quote unquote real. Most games are like demo. They feel like demos. Well, they are, because nobody's really sure what to do with this platform yet.
Right.
You just walked into a whole new world, and people are saying, "Hey, go for it." And they're kind of like, okay.
Yeah, and you're right. They're working out some issues, not only with software, hardware, but also with people, human beings, and what we can handle in a VR device. Yeah, and not puke all over ourselves. So it is very negative. It's kind of like well, if this is what VR has to offer, it's just not going to make it. And that was all blown to crap when the porn industry picked up VR. Because look, it's my title, okay? But I mean, porn has always been on the cutting edge of technology. Porn is the reason that they really have porn is basically the reason that VHS tapes were as successful as they were before the DVD. Porn has picked up on VR. They're gonna push it to the finish line. Don't worry.
Well, VR.
Everybody gets to finish.
Waiting for it. Neil's gonna go off the rails. All I was gonna say is that VR definitely has a place going well beyond just games. Games are just the beginning, so there's going to be a lot more to it, and I'm looking really, really forward to it. I actually want to do an in-depth talk on this topic, so I'm hoping to have Kirak on, as well as Shayla, VSD, all the people who've played in this world, so we can actually have a good in-depth talk about it, because there's a lot to talk about. It's amazing, and it's one of those things, if you know somebody who has it, go check it out. You'll understand what I'm talking about. I was blown away by it, so I just want to put this out there. But you can go read the article, go give them the clicks, the click-throughs, and they can make them all happy. But I'm just gonna chalk this up to this person is just a clickbait artist. This is a bunch of BS, and I'm sorry if somehow, Addie, you actually hear this podcast. I'm sorry, but I had a hard time getting through this whole read. As you can see, it's a big read, because you point out the does and then try to play them down. It's like, this is a fledgling platform that literally is not even a year old yet from public release of any of these headset systems. So suck it. Seriously, just suck it. Anyways, we're running on. Oh my God, it's almost an hour.
Yeah, a little behind.
Yeah, it is kind of small, but it's just kind of what it is.
Right, so I'm going to move right on and just blaze over this really, really quickly and announce that YouTube has changed their terms of service.
Again?
Slightly, yeah. Specifically in the area of harassment and what qualifies as harassment. So if you've got a prank channel, or if you've got a channel that relies on insulting people, or kind of like putting people in situations that they don't know that they're in and things like that, go check out the new terms of service. The harassment section is very, very specific now to those kinds of things.
If this is going to, basically what it boils down to is, if you're harassment, your channel can get pulled for it. I wonder if this will be retroactive. Because you see a lot of channels go dark very quickly as a result of it.
Yeah.
Who knows? Anyways, yeah, so take a look at that. I'll be interested to see where this goes. And I was me and Linz were talking pre-show, and I said, honestly, I've seen these quote-unquote prank channels, and about 98% of them are asshole prank channels anyway. They're playing pranks on the innocent, and that's poor format. For any kind of real channel, like TV channel, if you ever watch the kind of pranks they do, it's always making the focus of the prank on one of the actors, not the actual people being the victim, and that's a lot better form. You're getting reaction out of the people, not making them the butt of the joke. Anyways, so I'll be interested to see where that goes. Just kind of a FYI to you guys. So finally, last but not least, not least, but on the that's random category, getting you outside of gaming for a second here, there's a big dust up regarding what they call the Brexit vote, which is basically Britain exiting the EU. If you had your head in the ground, not heard about this, the EU is the European Union. It's a collective of many European countries, kind of under one union, and Britain being one of them decided to put it to a vote if they were going to exit the EU, which they have voted on and have said, yes, we're out of here. To which, very shortly afterwards, there's apparently a very large uptick in the amount of people in Britain Googling things like, What does leaving the EU mean? Or more importantly, what is the EU?
What did we just decide?
Yeah, it's kind of like the, yay, we're leaving the EU. Wait, what is the EU again? Now, I really wanted to harp all over this and make a big laughing point that for once in our life, America's not the butt of every joke. The reality is, in looking into this, I gotta be honest with you, I may be reading this wrong, and please guys, help me out if I am, but I'm very confused because, first of all, let's talk about the stats here. So the vote was close. It was 48% to 52%. The total number of people voting, what was 33 million people, almost 33.5 million people voted, which they're saying that was 72% turnout. Now I'm very confused about this because I looked at the stats here. The population as of last year for Great Britain was 64.7 million. 33.5 is half, not 72%. 72% would be 46.9 million. So I'm a little confused on these numbers here, but nonetheless, so to give you an understanding of that, theoretically, if you go by the stats here, seeing a 72% turnout, that would have meant that there were 46 million people who turned out to vote either yay or nay. And then you look at the stats for who Googled what. And this is where I'm confused, because when you look at the stats here, the number of people looking this up, I get numbers like 51 and 77. Not 1,000, not million, not just 77, 79, 26. Am I reading this wrong? I don't see a legend anywhere on here.
No, I didn't either. I don't know if it's supposed to be in thousands or what.
I mean, if there's this huge surge and uptick in what is the EU, and this surge is 96 people out of 64 million people, that's not really an uptick. That's like a college frat decided to search this. I'm sorry. I mean, I want to make fun of the Brits and not be the butt of the joke because I'm American and we've got people like Trump running for president here. But the fact of the matter is this is not a big. If I'm reading this right, and please, again, if I'm wrong, correct me in the comments below. But when I see numbers like 12 and 96, 100, 46, etc., unless they're saying percent of total population in this area, I'm very confused. So, yeah, if you see the headlines and start scoffing at it, do your homework, because this is what I come up with. So, there you go. Anyways, one last news bite, Linz, and then we've got to get jamming.
You know, this from Kotaku.
Of course.
Burger King apparently thinks that mac and Cheetos is a good idea. And I'm just going to say right now it's not, and that's all I want to say.
I am American, and I do not agree with this.
It's
there
wrong.
you go. There you go.
Look at the picture on the screen. Let's just move past it.
For the record, my wife said she'd be totally down for these.
Come on.
So you're saying you would spit?
Yeah, basically.
Anyways. All right, guys. Lots of really cool stuff in This Week in History. Again, links will be in the show notes. There's a lot of really critical, important things that happen here in This Week in History, so I really encourage you to go check out the show notes and check all this stuff out. Unfortunately, we're really running long, so I don't have the time to blow through this, so I really do apologize. But as always, you know, check out the show notes. You'll love it. It's a lot of good stuff here. Also, there's a lot of interesting events coming up, and again, we'll have the show in the show notes, and a couple of birthdays. One is Oh No's from Rocket. Oh No's!
Jin.
And also another person by the name of
Kahulo.
There you go.
Yeah.
So happy birthday to you guys. And again, links and details are in the show notes. You can go over there and check things out. I want to take a quick break here, and I want to talk about who we're talking about?
Kirok.
Who dat? Kirok. You guys know him. Hopefully you love him. He guested with us just a couple episodes back on the E3 rumors episode, and he's got a lot of stuff going on. Now again, Ikurak is a friend of the family, so to speak, but he's had a lot of good stuff coming up. Most importantly is he's got himself the new HTC Vive.
Yeah.
And he's going to be doing unboxing and talking about that. He's actually got some really cool stuff here. He's got the unboxing for it. He's also got VR setup and play, some little tips and tricks. So I definitely want you guys to head over there and check out his channel. If you're really curious about the Vive experience, which you should be, his channel actually does a pretty good job laying that out for you and give some input on it. So head on over there, check him out, give him a sub, give him a comment, give him some likes, give him some love. Go find him in real life and hug him. He's somewhere in Canada. I won't hold that against him. Anyways. Off the rails. All right. So, big topic tonight. And
yeah, and we probably will not, we won't even breach the surface of it probably. But
I would love to dive in this for a while, but the fact of the matter is I would sit there and just rant to no end. So let's try to I'm gonna try my best not to call Taylor Swift and other people a bunch of names here. Let's try to explain the situation and help people understand why this is happening and what a few key things are, like DMCA. So where do you want to start at? Do you want to try to explain the situation? Or do you want to try to explain DMCA?
Well, let's explain DMCA just so that we know what we're talking about.
Okay.
Okay.
So DMCA, Digital Millennium Copyright Act.
Yes. Yes. This is basically encompasses the copyright rules that we as content creators are familiar with today. That we cannot use other people's copyrighted material in our works unless it is, falls under fair use, and that there is, it holds platforms like YouTube responsible for having a process to identify and take down violators.
Oh, let's be very clear about this. This is an important thing, and you may know better than I do on this, but this is why I want to hash this out, because I've tried going through and I looked at the actual documents for this, and of course that's a snooze fest and hard to read.
Yes,
it's in legalese.
Yeah.
But basically, there is a lot to the Digital Millennium Copyright Act.
Yes.
And I mean, there's a lot to it, but specifically, the things that kind of are important, first of all, is the safe harbor. And the safe harbor is specifically as a platform like YouTube or Reddit, for example, you cannot be held accountable for what is put up there. So if I open up a forum and somebody goes on there and starts spewing hate speech or death threats, I cannot be held personally accountable for that element, or for people putting up copyrighted content, like uploading a movie to YouTube, for example. I can't be personally held to that. Google cannot be directly sued for a movie being on there per se. But as Lynn said, there is some culpability in saying you have to have some means for them to take action. Now, I didn't see this part of it, Lynn's, so you might know better than I do. I'm not sure how much of this is defined in the DMCA regarding me as a platform. I'm YouTube. How much I'm actually obligated legally to actually have a due process for it to be pulled or not.
Yeah, that basically is the gist of it. And part of the problem with the DMCA is the fact that it was created in the 90s and it's not really addressing the concerns that we're seeing today. But as YouTube, you are responsible for having a process for the copyright holder to take down that video. So that's basically the process
YouTube does.
They do. Yeah, I mean,
in
they have
spades.
They have content ID, and then they also have the copyright claims where you look at a video and you say, "Hey, that content is mine. I claim it."
So there's an important thing, and we actually talked about this a few episodes back. We started to dive into it a little bit, And again, there's two different sides to this. We talked about this being abused. That's another big thing that I'd love to rant on for an hour. But first of all, there's the whole aspect of it. And as far as I'm aware, the minimum obligation by this law that YouTube is obligated to, as Lynn said, is to have a system. Lynn creates music, and some other person ends up using her song or uploading her song on their YouTube channel. Me as YouTube, I'm obligated to have a means for Lynn's to contact me to file a claim saying, that's mine, take it down.
Right.
And then likewise, the person who uploaded it has a right to deny it, basically, and say, nope, I created this, put it back up, and that whole process. But YouTube has gone what I feel is the extra step, and they've created a pretty elaborate and pretty thorough automated check system that is flagging crap left and right.
Yeah.
To give you a great example, our last podcast.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nintendo, you bunch of ass wipes.
9 seconds of picture-in-picture footage with
9.
no sound. 9 seconds.
Yep.
Flagged.
Picture-in-picture.
Yes.
Guys, go back to the last episode. If you haven't seen it yet, just go better than halfway into it. We get well into the second half of the show, some hour and a half in, and we happen to bring up and mock Nintendo for the lack of anything coming out. And in the little to my right here, or sorry, to my left here, there's the in-picture window of a browser, and inside of that there is a video that was playing 9 seconds of a video trailer of an upcoming game.
That was part of the E3 conference, mind you.
Part of the conference.
You know, yeah,
we're a news podcast.
Right. So it's very obviously fair use, but Nintendo seems to disagree.
Well, again, automated check caught us is more than anything, and decided that, oh my god, this is copyrighted material. So anyways, the point is, YouTube has gone above and beyond. Now, the problem here is that, getting away from the video aspect, there are a bunch of music artists, Taylor Swift, Paul McCartney, among 180 other people, who are filing a petition to the United States Congress to review and modify the Digital Copyright Millennium Act, saying that it's unfair that Google is abusing the system and making money off their backs. Because, you know, Taylor Swift is a poor, starving musician here, and
she's only worth,
oh my god, I mean,
$20 million.
There was an article I saw while I was looking through these articles. It was like, hey, check out Taylor Swift's new Tuscan-style mansion.
Yes. Yeah, and that's and I think that's why this is being viewed as so disingenuous, because there's another petition out there that I didn't really look into. I just kind of verified its existence, which basically said, "Hey, we need to reform this section of the DMCA." This, I'm a little confused because different sources are reporting different things, but there are some sources that have even reported that their petition, these artists' petition, are asking Congress to repeal the entire DMCA.
Okay, I'm not the only one lost in this. Thank God.
Yeah, I mean,
I was lost in this. Okay, so let's. I'm sorry, but let's clear this up right now. Well, let's put this out there so people can try to find the truth here. In just this article, there was some confusion, and I had to go read some other articles. And as Lynn said, this is where things get confusing. So from reading this article and then scanning through like 2 or 3 or 4 other articles I looked at, I got basically 3 things out of this. 1, nobody has a goddamn clue what these articles are appealing to the Congress. It's somewhere between reviewing the DMCA and not stating what they want, reviewing the DMCA and asking for unrealistic things like the take down and stay down clause, which is impossible. It is physically in this realm not possible, and the flat out repeal of the DMCA, which is ridiculous.
Right. And you know, and the direct quote that all of these seem to have in common is that these you know, there are people saying that the DMCA itself has allowed major tech companies to grow and generate these huge profits by creating the ability for consumers to carry songs in their pocket. Okay, I'm not really sure that that's accurate because of the content ID system and because of the fact that once you claim another individual's video, which you're obviously doing through it's an automatic process with content ID,
Yep.
you are earning money for that video, not YouTube or you know
have the option. You have the option to.
Right. So,
and
quick stats.
Before you get to the stats, just real quick, just again to further emphasize this, the beyond legal obligation of YouTube putting this automated system up flagged BRG a while ago, back in the first few episodes of Dude Caller's weekly wrap up, where there was like a 13-second clip of one of BRGers playing a game that had what sounded like atmospheric sound more than it was music while he was talking over it. And that got flagged by the automated system. So for these, pardon me, but assholes to sit there and say that YouTube is not doing enough or is, you know, gaining from this. Do you know how much time it goes into creating software to mind the years worth? Seriously.
Not Quite Nerds got content ID'd for a Gang Beasts video, claiming that Dano and I and Yankee playing Gang Beasts was the same video as the Nerdist group playing Gang Beasts.
Yeah.
And you know, I was flattered to be,
I'd love to play alongside the Nerdist.
To be content ID'd as having the Nerdist's material on our channel, but of course,
dear Nerdist, please send some clicks our way.
Yeah.
We love you.
So, anyway, YouTube has actually paid out over $3 billion to the music industry. Just based on the stuff that's being claimed on the website. So, I mean, there are a lot of disappointing names on here, you know, from Taylor Swift to Paul McCartney to
Trent Reznor.
Trent Reznor.
This is a guy that basically said pirate crap. They're charging too much.
Yes, that is the point that I want to make about Trent Reznor, is that a while back, he is on
What
stage.
the hell, dude?
There's video of this everywhere. Search Trent Reznor Steal My Music on YouTube.
He used to leave USB sticks in bathrooms at concerts for people to find.
Yes.
You two-faced bastard.
What he basically said on stage at one of his concerts was that he had been fighting. This is back when we only had CDs. He had been fighting.
They're little round things. They're silver.
Yeah, you know. You lick them to clean them. I'm asking.
Hot. Very hot.
Anyway, he had been fighting the high cost of albums, and he asked a question to the audience, the collective audience. Have you seen the price go down? Of course, there was this resounding no, and he said, well, you know what that means? You got to go out and steal it. So this is the guy that encouraged an entire audience of people to go steal his music, who's now saying, YouTube is built on the back. And his exact quote was, YouTube is built on the backs of stolen work.
Which is, again,
you dipshit.
So much BS. Now,
yeah,
I don't create music, and if I did, I'm pretty sure nobody and their mother would want to steal it, because I'm pretty sure it'd be pretty freaking bad. It'd probably sound like some horrible throat yodeling. But anyways, so here's a key important thing, guys. So one of the reasons why this is coming up, and this is why I take even further dismay at this, is this is not real complaining, and I don't think a lot of them can really put fact behind this. They are doing this because YouTube isn't just pirating all this music and letting it happen. Google has contracts with many of the music industries to legally have their music on YouTube.
Yeah.
And, oh, look, all those contracts are coming up on the end, so they have to be re-upped. Oh, amazing. So it just happens to be that as these contracts are coming up, then now all of a sudden, by God, we have put up with this too long. YouTube is just bending us over and raping us.
Right. They're seeing an opportunity, and I think that this petition is directed at the wrong entity. I think that they should be petitioning, their record labels.
Well, because the trick there to keep in mind is many of these names, like, for example, Paul McCartney, he is the label.
Yeah. So he's also worth $1.2 billion or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So this is where things are getting kind of retarded. Let's sum up here. The Digital Millennium Copyright Act isn't just about, music going up onto YouTube. It's copyright stuff anywhere. It can be images online. It can be music for hold music on a company. It can be anything. The Digital Millennium Copyright Act, some of the key signatures here are, for example, the legitimate and legal ability for us here on this podcast to show this picture of Taylor Swift and talk about her dumbass. Because we are a news podcast providing information and commentary on the news. That is a legal right. Also for teaching. If I am teaching a music class, I can legally use snippets or segments of music to make a point as an example.
Right.
These people are abusing the automated system that YouTube has gone and put in place to help with the situation, and B, are now complaining that somehow YouTube is an evil entity just because, quite frankly, they're not getting enough money. Right. My God, they could like roll anything out of their garage, anything. Yeah. A garbage can. It'll probably be diamond encrusted and worth more than I can make in a year.
And I don't think that anybody in their right mind will sit and say, you should be able to upload other people's songs onto YouTube, and even if you don't monetize them, that should be just fine.
Yeah.
But the problem is that when you get a force like this celebrity backed force, you automatically worry, is it going to be all of us little guys that get hurt in the process of this, which probably will be. So this led to something else.
Oh, no.
This is connected to something else.
No.
Yes. This is part of the response. The next link that I posted is part of the response to this DMCA controversy, and that is the Internet Creators Guild.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I know that this was in the works before this petition, but it has been connected to this petition as well. Hank Green, who is part of the Vlogbrothers channel, actually he responded to the DMCA stuff, but he also on June 15th he announced that they were going to be forming the Internet Creators Guild, which is a paid subscription. Basically, it's like the Actors Guild. It gives the collective community one unified voice, basically,
which is a good thing.
Yeah, we're not quite sure what that voice is gonna say.
That's what concerns me.
Or how this is gonna work, or if it's something that smaller, creators need to be interested in, or if it's more for people who make a living off of YouTube. But it sounds promising, and I like Hank Green a lot.
I actually he's a principal person in the SciShow YouTube channel. Mm-hmm. So and don't get me wrong, I'm not being negative about this. I'm always worried about things like this because whenever this kind of stuff comes up, this type of entity, just like with unions back in the day, came up out of necessity to help out with situations. But I always worry because if they start out well, they seem to end up ill.
Yeah. And I would assume that it might be a little easier to get out of this than it was to get out of unions back in the day. It's a $5 a month subscription fee, basically, to be involved in it.
I'm not worried about that. I was worried about how unions are great things until they start going awry and start demanding too much or being unreasonable. Right. I want an entity that's responsible.
This, it just launched today as we're recording this, actually, which is Saturday. And this podcast will be up on Monday. So as of the day you guys are watching this, it will have launched 2 days ago. So we just have to see what it turns out to be. But yeah, They are, I like the Vlog Brothers channel and the SciShow channel and the Crash Course channel, and
Yep.
these guys are a very educational team who they run VidCon, and they seem to be business savvy as well as intelligent human beings. So
I have hopes for this, but
yeah, there is a board of directors that's associated with this that has several YouTubers on it. So
okay.
one would hope that that they will be speaking on behalf of. There is a CEO that's been named.
So can BRG act as an entity for all BRGers to be a representative?
I have actually asked that question, but I got an automated response that basically said, "Look, we're all at VidCon right now, so so we'll answer all your questions.
Here's hoping
at a later time."
And
yeah,
this is a big deal, guys. This really is. Again, this is one of those things of, even if you're not a content creator, even if you're not a YouTuber, musician, or whatever, the DMCA affects you. Because, again, I mean, we're barely scratching the surface of what I'll give you another great example. You have the legal right, sort of, to crack the encryption on a DVD and make a digital copy of it, as long as you legally own the DVD and don't ever get rid of it. And this is important to me because I have kids, and they destroy physical media. Yeah. Those DVDs can maybe be made out of adamantium, and they still find a way to destroy. You want to kill Wolverine? Have him hang out with a 5-year-old. They will kill him. That's what they do. So having the ability to do things like this, there's so much to the DMCA. So the ludicrous extreme ends of saying flat out, let's just get rid of it. Again, one of our previous podcasts, we talked about how Sony is basically using YouTube's automated takedown system to try to scam people into paying royalties or paying access to their music, even though it's for a legitimate thing covered by the DMCA. This is what they're doing. They're being the thieves. They're being the ones that are abusing systems that were put in place to try to help them and to be fair. And now they're turning around and saying, you know what? We're not getting enough out of this, so we're going to go even further. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. I forgive me. I am a little bit angry about this. I am sick and tired of this constant petty crap. Again, I want to be very clear on this. Do not steal crap, okay? It's not cool. Whether it's an individual creating it or a large corporation producing it, I don't care. It's still not cool. Secondly, if you can find a way to help out, i.e., no legitimate way to get content on a deal, do it that way. Try to encourage people to do the same thing whenever possible. And I'm hypocritical. I was a avid member of Napster back in the day. I watch like a couple websites online that stream video, which I'm sure is not legitimately being streamed by any stretch of the imagination. But on the flip side, I have also gone to the nth degree. For example, paying for Hulu and Netflix and YouTube Red and Amazon Prime so I can have Amazon movies. I've gone to the exponential extent, including a Comcast account, and HBO. Get the idea. I have shelled out enough damn cash that when I sit down and want to watch a flippin' movie, I just want to watch it. Not be on this retarded cycle. Well, I'm sorry, but it was on Netflix, but now it's gone. Oh, you want to watch Matrix 1? Sorry, we only have Matrix 3. You know what? If you're going to make it that damn difficult, don't get pissy when I find other ways to get to it, okay? I'm sorry. So, again, I'm being hypocritical, but at the same time, I do my due diligence to try to pay into the system, try to help people out. And that's been, for example, a core value of BRG. This is why we encourage trying to get people together for collaboration, why we try to utilize people within the group to create music or to create headers and trailers for our videos and etc. I'm done.
So their board of directors consists of some very trusted names on YouTube. Anna Akana, Aurelion, Olin Rogers, part of their board of directors. Their advisory board, of course, includes Hank Green and some other recognizable names. So, and they do actually have a list of things that they plan to do. It's not very specific. You can go to the site, check it out for yourself, interpret it how you want to, without my assistance. But
a bunch of the board of directors are hot.
But there looks like there's a lot of accountability that's going to be built in. So that's always a good way to start.
Well, here's hoping. Guys, listen, I really encourage you to check out the links, look into this a little deeper. This is one of those, again, very important things that I would like to see you guys get rat holed on, in terms of just go down the rat hole, really learn up on it, because again, no matter what you think, this affects you. So
yeah,
definitely do that. All right, so I'm going to end this on a little bit of a happy, a little bit of a happy note here. This is a For the Win. I would like to try to show a little something fun that I encourage you guys to go do. This is Maru. Maru is a silly, fun, little cute cat that is a big fat cat that loves to stuff himself into small boxes, among other things. If you've never heard of Maru, go ahead and head over to this channel here. He's got all of Maru's videos. He is a silly, fun cat, and it's one of those things, if you're having a bad day, look up Maru, and you will be feeling a lot better in no time. So definitely check out Maru, and like I said, make yourself feel better, because he's a cat bust. He's very cute. Anyways, hey, there's a lot of chatter from the last podcast here. One of the chief ones I love that stands out to me is the "Oh Jesus Christ" 2.5 hours from Ziploc. Yeah. We apologize, guys. It was E3, and again, we might have sort of scratched the surface of one small area of E3. There was so much stuff coming out of there, and we did hit the major highlight stuff only, just like every other freaking news channel out there.
Right.
But it's just, it is what it is. There's just too much. We would have had to do a daily podcast starting pre-E3, running through Friday, Saturday following, to even hope to dig a little deeper, and still it would have been a fraction of it.
At the mention of daily podcast, I got chills just everywhere, and they weren't good.
So, but anyways, we also have a bunch of comments from Scion and Ziploc. We also had one from Seshi saying BRG Con. I love this too. Have you read that one, by the way?
Yeah, can't we just like turn ourselves into the local police department or something? I forgot what she said. Yeah,
that's basically it. I also got a comment from Rowdy Ram saying, "Fun podcast." Thank you very much, Rowdy. Really appreciate it. Definitely, feel free to comment, say hi whenever you like. And of course, as always, guys, head over to BallRocketGaming.com. We've got a wonderful, beautiful new website that we just got up, and it's all kinds of fun. It's a soft launch. We're still refining it, tweaking it. Lynn's going nuts about it, and we'll get it there. Also, Lynn's my love, my dear.
Yes, dear.
You are Not Quite Nerds everywhere.
Yes.
Twitter,
Facebook, blah blah.
What you been up to on YouTube's?
Okay, so we're still doing the same stuff that we've been talking about. It's just progressing further. We have the Forest Let's Play with Ruark 88.
Hey, you should like a little girl.
We do the BSMC and Trav are also doing that, and we're kind of fighting against each other. We're playing on separate servers. Foreplay is happening. Lots and lots of foreplay. For those of you that don't know, foreplay is it's a kind of a series centered around 4-player games. Now, unfortunately, the first two that we did were Left 4 Dead 1, Left 4 Dead 2, and my recordings are completely borked. But they're going to come out on Ruark's channel at the end of the summer.
Aw, no one's
yeah,
working.
I know. We're going to go ahead and call Dead by Daylight, which we're doing pretty soon. We're going to call it foreplay. Even though it's technically 5 players, but there's 1 killer and 4 survivors, so I think it's still foreplay.
I love some of the stuff I have on here. Like the titles are great. Things like rapists and racists.
Yeah, you have to watch it to know why.
Oh God, guys, head on over. Of course, check out Not Quite Nerds. Again, you just type that into the Gargler or anything else, and you'll find them everywhere, including the Twitters and everything else. And of course, I myself, per the usual stuff, I tend to do videos of whatever I have available. I know my videos have kind of dried up a little bit. I'm getting a little bit delayed here on getting new stuff up. Again, it's just a matter of having the time. making some time so I can actually edit some of this content, get it up, so I have more stuff to show. I do have some more ships. I got the tabletop with BRG, which I haven't gotten up yet. So if you want to see that, you can't wait for me. That is up on Linz's channel. That is up on Ruark's channel. That is up on Tox's channel. That's up on... You get the idea. We love to do collaboration. And that's one of the big things about BRG is we are all about the collabs. We tend to promote and try to create opportunities for everybody to have fun, to get together, to do collaboration, to be creative, to chatter, to have a good time. That's one of our chief things here is having a good time. So we definitely encourage you to do that. Also, as we talked about many times over. Well, actually, before I jump off there, Linz, is there anything you want to say about the new website?
You know, just if you're a current member and you haven't registered yet, go register. If you're watching this,
the video, go register.
Go register
right now,
because the old site is going away. And you know, if you haven't seen our site before, come on board, look around, check out the events. There's plenty of things to participate in. Register, break the site for me.
Again, we're on soft launch. It's not official yet.
We're on soft launch. Break the site and then go to the help page and send me an email that says I broke something, and then I can fix everything that doesn't work.
Right there. There's the email address. Right there. So definitely check that out. And then, guys, I really, really want to hammer this in. We have a lot of fun doing this podcast, and that is our first and biggest concern is having fun and, of course, being entertaining if at all possible. But, again, BRG is all about the community, and we really want to be able to do more for the community. And to be able to do that, it takes a little bit of money. We try to be as frugal as we can. We try to stretch every dollar we possibly can stretch. But the fact of the matter is, the more income we have, the more special things we can do. So if you guys can pitch $1 our way, it would really be appreciated. So please, if you can spare $1, head on over to patreon.com/BottleRocketGaming. Check us out. Pledge $1. Even if it's only for 1 month, we appreciate it. We'll put you in our credits here. We'll give you lots of love. And I'll give you lots of kisses. And Linz will, well, I'll just leave her out this time.
God, I can't imagine what we're building up to on the Linz is going to do list.
Well, we'll have some good stretch goals. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. Linz, you too. As always, you keep jumping in and save my bacon when I'm shorthanded here. Next week, we have got Hamisu. If you haven't heard of Hamisu before, shame on you. Hamisu is another one of the Project Singularity guys. He is an awesome little Swede. He does a lot of live streaming. Plays a lot of games from Minecraft to other fun things. So I definitely encourage you to get to know him if you can. And we'll have him on next week. We'll be talking about God knows what. But we'll go from there. All right, guys. Have yourself a wonderful evening. Take care.
Bye.